Hey guys, my name is Daniel Mudheki and I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me today. Once again, I'd like to thank God for enabling us all to be here. Well guys, as you're aware, we are continuing with our series on the must-dos in dating and marriage, and we started talking about the word credit. In the past couple of videos, we've spoken about the C in credit, which is communication. We've spoken about the R in credit, which is responsibility. We've spoken about the E in credit, which is encourage, and we have spoken about the D in credit, which is discipline. And so today, I'd like us to continue with the last two words in credit, and this is the I and the T. And so if you missed out on any of the last videos, just check out my YouTube channel and remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on this lovely content. And so guys, today the I in credit stands for involve, okay? Involvement. And one thing that is very important that I came to learn, that in any relationship, it is absolutely important that you as an individual want to be involved in the things that your partner or spouse like doing. And this is a sacrifice because most of the times you probably don't like those things. They're probably not your cup of tea. But when you are involved in what they like doing, then you also build an interest in the same thing. And it is very important when you intend to have a marriage that will last a lifetime. You know, it's very unfortunate today that we see people who are married or in a relationship but don't even like doing anything that the other person likes doing. You know, you'd find maybe, let me use soccer for example, because this is a perfect example, okay? And maybe your husband is a soccer fan. He loves football, all right? But you cannot stand it even for a minute. Even for a minute, you can't stand it. And so every time in the house, you have a conflict because when he wants to watch his game, you want to do other things. And guess what happens? He decides, you know what? Let me go out and watch it with the boys. Let me go out and watch it with somebody who's interested in watching it. All right? And this takes away quality time from your relationship. It takes away quality moments that would help you build the relationship. You know, like for me, for example, I'll give an example. I don't like going shopping. My wife does. All right? However, I sacrifice. And I say, you know what? Let me take her. Let's go and have fun. I might find something that I like. My wife never used to like football. Nowadays, she knows most footballers because she'll sit down with me and watch football. And so it is very important that we are able to involve ourselves in the things that our partner likes doing. Because if you don't do it, somebody else will. In last week's video, I told you guys that nature does not allow a vacuum. No spaces are left unfilled. And so if you don't fill that space, somebody else will fill it. And this could be a male or a female. All right? And that's why I say, want to do it. Involve yourself. It's sacrifice. It is effort. Put in the effort. It's like a farmer. You think they love waking up at 4 a.m. to till their land? Our marathon runners, the athletes that we know, do you think they love waking up early and it's cold and raining to train? No. But it's because they know the results that come with it. And so I'll say be very careful on not being involved in the things your spouse likes doing because somebody else is helping them do it. If you don't like doing it with them, somebody else is doing it with them. And so that's very important for you to remember. And I really hope that I've passed that message home. And if I haven't, feel free to ask any questions or comment Palechini, okay? So that we can talk more about this. Secondly, and one of the most important things that I came to learn with credit is the T. And the T in credit stands for teachable. Guys, this is absolutely beautiful. Because in life, we must be teachable. You know, before you came together with your spouse, they have lived a different life for probably 20, 30 years. And so have you. And in that different life, you have learned how to do things in a certain way. And they have learned how to do things in a certain way. Then all of a sudden, you come together in a union and you live in one home. And you find that this person does things in a certain way, this person does things in a certain way. You cannot expect people to do things your way immediately, and vice versa, because they have been doing it for years. And so it is absolutely prudent that we are teachable. It is never my way or the highway. That has never worked, and that will never work. In fact, that brings a lot of tension in any relationship. It brings a lot of friction in every relationship. And so it is important for you to be teachable, because you have learned. For example, you find there's a guy who has been throwing shoes and his socks since he was 5 years old. You've married him, he's 30. He's still throwing his shoes and socks everywhere. You can't expect that guy to change in a day or in 2 days. So sit back and look at someone's life history and understand, for how long have they done this? And so understand it will take time before they change. It will take time before they learn something new. You know, wahenga walisema, samaki mkunje angali mbichi. Because the older we get, some things become very hard for us to let go of. But if we understand this principle of being teachable, then we appreciate the fact that we are different, okay? And we open up to being taught new ways and new things. You know, I remember when I married my wife, I am from a family, I don't have a brother. So I'm from a family with just girls. And my wife is from a family of boys, because her last born sister was born pretty later on when she was all grown up. And so when we got together and started living in the same house, you know, I'm that guy who, you know, a painting has to be straight. Right now I'm looking at the one behind me, if it's straight, and it is. You know, I'm that meticulous guy, as in things have to be perfect. You know, one dish you use, you wash. And when you wash it, you wipe it and take it, put it back to the cupboards, you know? I'm that guy. But it's because of the exposure I had. You know, my mom, my sisters, everyone. So I took that line of doing things. But then my wife, on the other hand, grew up with boys. And so, you know, we'd have a meal and, you know, the sufuria of ugali, ataiweka maji, ilale mpaka kesho. Maybe the dishes, she'll say, we'll wash them tomorrow. Me, I'm like, hiya, what do you mean we're washing them tomorrow? It's no way. You have to wash them now. But she's like, we'll wash them tomorrow. There's no rush. And so I remember having a discussion with someone, and they told me, Daniel, you must realize that you are from different backgrounds. You are from different places. And so it will be very irrational for you to expect things to be done your way, or for her to expect things to be done her way. And so you must be teachable. And you know what? Today, I'll tell you the truth. I don't sweat articles, dishes are not being washed. They can be washed tomorrow. They won't break in the sink. I've learned that. I've learned that it's not a must things to be perfect. In fact, you put yourself so much pressure when you're trying to be perfect. And my wife has also learned, you know what? Just wash the dishes for him, because he likes them clean. You know? And so, guys, I'll tell you, you must be teachable in your relationship. You must be teachable in your situations. Because if you're not teachable, then that means you're too rigid. And let me tell you, you'll not go far. There are some of you who've been brought up in single homes. You're the only child. And so you probably don't know how to share stuff. And there are some who are born in a big family. And so they know how to share. Or probably don't even know how to share, because now they always protect their own things. And so it's important for you guys to sit down and understand these dynamics. Understand where someone has come from. And build a new culture that you want your children to aspire to be. And a new culture that your family will be. Okay? And so this seems like it's the end of our series on credit. And just a quick recap, the C stood for communication, stands for communication. The R stands for responsibility. The E stands for encourage. The D stands for discipline. The I stands for involve. And the T stands for teachable. And so remember, in your marriage, in your relationship, credit is very important. And without credit, then it's most likely to crumble and fall. So thank you guys so much for joining me in this series, and I pray that you have been blessed and inspired by the things we have spoken about. Feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, and share these videos if you find them to be useful to you and anybody else you know who probably needs to hear this content. And so until next time, thank you so much. take care and sit down with your spouse and partner and see what it is you can improve in your relationship or in your marriage. Take care, guys, and God bless. See you.